On Thanksgiving last year, Wayne Kingston woke up his twin grandsons David and Michael. He armed them with rifles and took them out to hunt deer. The 59-year-old Kingston was already breaking the law because the boys were too young to be hunting big game. But what happened later was much worse. In this wooded, hilly patch of land in western Orange County, Wayne, his nephew Jake, and the two boys began to hunt. Sometime between 9:30 and 10 a.m., they put a drive on. That is, they started to make noise intended to flush deer out of the woods and into the open. Wayne told police that he saw a deer pop up in his sights. He fired a single shot from his rifle. Wayne and Jake Kingston propped the 13-year-old boy up against a tree. Then they went back into the woods to stash some does that they'd illegally shot.
I personally feel deep in my heart you ain't gonna change my mind. They did not at any time want to get caught with those deers on that DEC because they knew they were in trouble. Because they didn't have no permits, no nothing up there to hunt.
By the time an ambulance brought David here to Bon Secours Hospital in Port Jervis, it was too late. The bullet punctured his lungs and he bled to death. He was pronounced dead at 12:44 p.m. It took somewhere between an hour and 15 minutes and an hour and 20 minutes for Wayne and Jake Kingston to get help for David.
And I said, you gotta be kidding me.
Their failure to get that help immediately led them both to be charged with manslaughter. Prosecutors and police said that if David had been helped immediately, he might have survived.
What bothers me the most, that they let my little grandson sit there and suffer and die for no reason. Nothing. Would not help him.
Wayne and Jake Kingston both gave statements to state police. Right from the start, they didn't seem to understand that they were in deep trouble. One investigator noted that Jake, quote, wanted to know if he was going to lose his hunting permit after all of this was over. The Kingstons were both indicted on charges of manslaughter. By April, Jake had cut a deal and agreed to testify against his uncle. He pleaded guilty to a lesser charge, criminally negligent homicide, but his sentence was delayed until today because prosecutors wanted to ensure that he'd cooperate if Wayne went on trial. On August 2nd, Wayne Kingston pleaded guilty to manslaughter. But even after his guilty plea, he seemed to have some trouble realizing what he had done. In a jailhouse interview with the Times-Herald Record earlier this month, Kingston insisted, quote, I don't know who shot that kid. He said he took his time getting David out of the woods that day because he thought the boy had hurt his back when he fell.
I don't care what they say. They did not bother to help him. They just let him lay there.
David Ellis lives down the road from the Kingstons in Cuddebackville. After Wayne finishes his prison sentence, there's a possibility that one day the two grandfathers will meet by chance.
It's the arrogance of what he did and make that kid lay there and suffer and just die. I can't understand that.